Folks, they're known for their burgers, but don't sleep on their hot dogs. It's just one of today's courses. And of course, Kristen Wow with Unpretentious Palate is here this morning with her 3 courses. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. Happy to be here.
I'm glad that you are here. We always love when you stop by and give us some great information. Now, I do want to start with course 1, which is not the greatest of news.
Not the greatest, but important news.
Important news.
Yeah.
So give us course 1.
Yeah, so this is something I think is really important to talk about. A lot of times we talk about federal policy and it seems so kind of distant, and DC seems so far away. So something that I wanted to just mention is the funding freeze that's been happening and how that's affected local farmers. It's a really good time for us to be supporting local farmers because they're going through a struggle. So there are a lot of federal programs that help farmers out, either through like reimbursing them for projects they're working on to improve their farms, or also like helping local food hubs purchase extra produce from local farmers that then gets distributed out in the community through nonprofits. It's something Freshless does. They put together these produce boxes that get donated. And so it's a win for everybody, right? The local community who is in need of fresh produce gets these donated farm products. The farmers don't have stuff that's going to waste. And because of the federal funding freeze, a lot of these programs have been halted or paused. And so our local farmers right now have a lot of extra things they're dealing with in terms of finances, whether they've, some people have been approved for grants and are in the middle of projects and they're not sure when that reimbursement will happen or if that reimbursement will happen. And then you have these groups that are used to having reimbursements for buying this extra produce that they don't know what's happening with that. So the farmers aren't able to sell that, so they're losing income. And so it's just a lot of extra stress for our local farmers, the people around the city that are feeding us. And so just show some extra love to your local farmers.
I was going to say, easiest thing you can do is shop local and shop local produce from our local farmers.
Yes. They're so vital to our well-being, and sometimes we kind of forget about how hard it is to actually grow food.
That's right. Well, that's why you're giving us this great information. Course number 2 now, we all know that Savor Charlotte is here, and you guys got something pretty cool coming up.
Yes. So we are super excited. On Saturday, we have a cocktail class with Bob Peters at Goodyear House. That is currently sold out. We may add more seats if the weather's nice and move that outside. But we also have a brunch lesson on Sunday that I'm super excited about with Chef Andres Kiefer from Custom Shop. And Chef Andres and I were talking a little bit about Marina's Tapas, his food stall at Optimist Hall, and it's a Spanish small plate spot, but people always come asking for tacos. Right. And so we were like, there's clearly a disconnect between, what people think Hispanic cuisine is, not just tacos. And so it's a brunch that's called Not Just Tacos. And you'll try things like crudos, croquetas, empanadas. And so we're really trying to kind of take you on a culinary tour through some really cool Hispanic cultures and cuisines beyond tacos. And so there will be cocktails, 3 courses, and that's at 1 p.m. at Custom Shop on Sunday. And I'm super excited to eat and learn.
Listen, I'm Peruvian, I know.
Yes.
Look, I love Mexican food, I love tacos, but there's ceviche, there's empanadas, there's tapas, there's so many other things, so I'm glad that you guys are having that. All right, course number 3, you know me, I love a good hot dog.
Yes, so the JJ's Red Hots news, I feel like just devastated so many people. And we've gotten a lot of questions on Unpretentious Palate. We do like a weekly Q&A, and people are curious, like, where can I get hot dogs now that JJ's is closed? And so head over to Brooks Sandwich House. It's amazing. It's right kind of between Noda and Plaza Midwood. If you haven't been before, it's a small place. There's no seating inside. There's some picnic benches outside. But it's just, they do burgers, they do dogs, they do liver mush. Like you got to swing by there, get a hot dog, get some chili on there. They're fantastic, and just classic, delicious hot dogs.
You mentioned JJ's closing down. Also, Goodwurst also closing. So, hey, look, if we're going to redirect, and again, shop local. We always talk about shopping local and supporting local shops. Brooks Sandwich Shop is definitely one of them. I want to piggyback one more time on the Savor Charlotte Custom Shop event coming up as I put your information up on the screen. For anybody that hasn't been to one of these events and doesn't really know what to expect, what will they be leaving with when they come to the event? Yeah,
so you get a lot of FaceTime with the chefs at our events, which is like, to me, is so important because there's so much knowledge that these chefs have, but being in the kitchen all the time, they don't always translate to diners. So that's one of our big things, is trying to make sure that like we get those chefs in front of diners, and so that they can share that knowledge. And as diners, we become better customers, we know more, and we can help boost Charlotte's food scene. We got to do our role too.
Look, knowledge is power, and after 3 courses, course 1, 2, and 3, we've got all the knowledge this morning. Kristen, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Jana, it sounds like a great event on Saturday.